Bubble. There wasn't a conspiracy, not even a theory. Only mad dullards away with the fairies. Remember those wee girls who conned Conan Doyle? Stay in your bubble. Did you come up the foil? Don't swallow David Icke's nonsense. Don't stick his fingers in your ears. There are snake oil salesmen who'll prey on your fears, who'll tell you this virus will just disappear, and a new one is born every day. 5G can't kill you. It won't give you corona. Would you buy this old banger, just one careful owner? Did you hear the one about what happens if you become a blood donor? You didn't? Well, just let me say, there wasn't a conspiracy, not even a theory. There was just some old nonsense attached to a query. Remember the Hitler diaries? I'll put the kettle on to boil. Stay in your bubble. Did you come up the foil? Do you know Sandy Hook? Did you hear what she's saying about the miracle cures that our government's delaying, just to make sure that the immigrants are all overstaying? They're welcome. Do you know what I think? Did you hear the whole truth about how they planned 9/11? Did you see the new photographs that your man took in heaven? The banks and the government are destroying your living just to buy asylum seekers a drink. There wasn't a conspiracy, not even a theory, just some well-laid-out lies set to trap the unwary. Bill Gates isn't microchipping you. Just take your oil. Stay in your bubble. Did you come up the foil? Well, I never. You don't say. Why listen to knowledge or any of that old guff they'll teach in a college? I'd rather run naked through nettles and foliage. It's the new age, and this is the new me. Try Reiki, try wheatgrass, try the fibrous and crude, try pie in the sky and that clerical brood, try mistrusting all science and those trying to do good. Stop thinking and set yourself free. There wasn't a conspiracy, nor even a theory, only mad dullards away with the fairies. Remember those wee girls who conned Conan Doyle? Stay in your bubble. Did you come up the foil?
just panicking me? Or was it panicking you? You stop panicking me. What you needed was a little taster. So hard to breathe when you're living underwater. This can't be right. We've been here before, familiar to me, and this breeds contempt. And this breeds contempt.
The sky is clear tonight. Late frost sparkles the rushes, casting back the light of distant suns. The moon, full as a silver threepence, shines the trackless grass pure white. No shadow moves but one, lopsided, loping leather horn. Crouched back, old woman wise, she comes. This land is hers alone, and yet she does not sleep, for she, of many forms and names, long ears and head-top eyes, always alert, living her life beneath the churning sky, never forgets the ancient rule. When dangers come, keep watch. You're fast enough to get away. Lie still, for they may pass on by. Last morning, with the dew still fresh, where once the plover made her nest, she sat beneath the rising sun. She heard a distant rumble come. Then, crouching flat, she disappeared. No danger there. Only a sudden mist of rain that wet her fur and tasted strange, then passed on by. All places are alike to her, the meadow cat. She has no home, she dare not keep an ounce of fat. She feeds by night, chews through the winter's roots, but now she has forgot the cold, the heat of mad March days. The buck she never met till then, whose ear she boxed, but let him mate. And in a week the 4 strong kits she bore, eyes open, fit to run, will go their ways. Meanwhile she gazes at the moon, the shadows there that form long ears like hers. The dogs are full, the kits are hidden well. She sniffs, she cannot trace their smell. She cries and waits and cries again, hoping that 3 or 2 or 1 will answer then. But they are lying still, for with the spray they use their tongues as children do. They lick their paws and wash their face like her. They wiped their ears and licked their fur and licked again, until there was no trace, no outward trace of herbicide.
In the north wilderness, in the north woods we wandered, at the wealth we possess. In the green growing forest, in the sweet scented air, in the clear crystal waters, magic everywhere. In the north woods night, lay me down on the green grass, with my feet in the earth, my head in the heavens, in the star-spangled north. mark me on the waters. I don't sail this ship alone. Far across the ocean, my heart has found a home. In the magic of the moonlight, on the land and on the lakes, she whispers to me sweetly, and all creation shakes. In the north woods we wander, in the north wilderness. In the north woods we wonder at the wealth we possess. In the green growing forest, in the sweet scented air, with clear crystal waters, magic everywhere. Magic everywhere. Magic everywhere. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Magic everywhere. Magic everywhere. Magic everywhere. Magic everywhere.
File 3, Guildhall Steps, a tune called The Curragh Races. This is a tune from the plains of Kildare called The Curragh Races. It's for anybody that's ever been to the Curragh Races and had their pockets lightened on the plains of Kildare.
He asks me a lot of questions about my ex-boyfriend. Not all at once, but they peek out here and there, a smattering of curiosity. How did you meet? How old is he? And why did you break up exactly? And why did you break up now, finally, after all of these years? And why? As hard as I try, my answers never feel adequate. We met through a college professor, my mentor, your friend. You saw me do spoken word. You were too old for me, but eventually I didn't care. I was in love and I looked past it. I looked past a lot of things. I loved your brain, so I didn't mind the body that came with it, so uptight. It's not a bad body, but we never had a spark, I didn't want to fuck the shit out of you, so eventually we didn't fuck at all, and I convinced myself that this was a natural progression, that I could live with it, because a lot of other things were really good, and from the outside we were really good, and from the outset we were the couple that everyone loved and admired and rooted for. Me, feisty and fun, you, thoughtful and calm, the kind of presence at any party that attracted all of my poor young friends in need of advice. You were so nice. You are the nicest person I will ever know. Now I'm feeling a bit desperate. It's hard to explain the ins and outs of a relationship without going deep, and I don't want to overwhelm the listener with tales of the back and forth, the conflicted heart, the years of wondering why something always felt off. But when you got sick before the Arcade Fire show and missed it, it was a turning point. And when you refused to see a therapist, a turning point. And when your boss was a dick to me and you still didn't quit, a turning point. It took a lot of turning points and 360-degree rotations to spin fast enough, to push hard enough to fall out of the circle. You and I and I and you. You and I and I and you. You were a constant, content, and I miserable, but content with pretending. I could not be the girl who asked you to move your whole life to another country with no language and no job and no friends and then dump you. And when you got sick, I didn't know if you needed a mother or an ass kicker. I opted for the latter and complained to my friends, to any friend who would listen, about how stagnant we felt, how wasted I was on this unambitious man, how I loved but didn't lust, how I wanted out but didn't want to let go. It's not easy to leave someone after so many years. To think that some far off day you'll want to turn to the person next to you in bed and say, remember when we were young and in Berlin? Remember the night we saw the fox on David Bowie's birthday and the streets were silent and filled with snow? Remember kissing in London in front of the casino? Remember the cats and how small they used to be? Do you remember me? Do you remember me? You knew me at 19. And 20, and 21, and 22, and 23, and 24, which was a fucking doozy, and 25, I spent my birthday sick in a bathtub, and you brought me breakfast, and 26 is the year I decided I did not need you anymore. And now I feel I have a mark on my forehead, a red X painted thickly, a red flag spiking from my back to warn the others she was 6 years gone. 6 years with one person is basically a marriage without the party, so I'm basically divorced without the alimony, and I'm not sure. Does that mean that I'm used up now? Or that I'm intimidating because I've seen things the others haven't? Or maybe I'm boring because I was building shelves and making soup while my classmates were snorting coke and fucking bartenders? Or maybe I'm scary. This is a serious girl and her blowjobs come with a price tag, 6 years and 2 cats. Plus, she'll make you move to Berlin, then be upset when you're unemployed, have no friends, and so much anxiety, you vomit on the S-Bahn twice. I thought I was a nurturer. I thought I was loyal. I thought I was girlfriendy. I thought I was nice. I thought I was easy to fall in love with. I thought I had an ass that don't quit. I thought that my hair was my best feature and that my vibe, a hint Bowie, a little manic pixie, was fun and even alluring. I thought I was nice. But I think that I'm nice and not nice, and that's a lose-lose, and maybe I would feel like less of a loser if I could forget, but I want to remember everything about us. To remember in real time from moment one, Demi, this is Ty, until the last one, sitting at opposite ends of the bed and you saying, so sad, I know that we're broken up now. I want to wake up and understand us, to be able to answer Why? What was the reason for any of this? How much do 6 years and countless good intentions add up to? 3 million minutes? And is it enough to say that I am grateful for every stupid one of them, every second of you and I and you? Thank you.
I wanna tell you all a story about a Harper Valley widowed wife who had a teenage daughter who attended Harper Valley Junior High. Well, her daughter came home one afternoon and didn't even stop to play. And she said, Mama, got a note here from the Harper Valley PTA. Well, the note said, Mrs. Johnson, you're wearing your dress is way too high. It's reported you've been drinking and running round with men and going wild. And we don't believe you ought to be bringing up your little girl this way. And it was signed by the Secretary, Harper Valley PTA. Well, it happened that the PTA was gonna meet that very afternoon. And they were sure surprised when Mrs. Johnson wore her miniskirt into the room. And as she walked up to the blackboard, I can still recall the words she had to say. She said, I'd like to address this meeting of the Harper Valley PTA. Well, there's Bobby Taylor sitting there, and 7 times he's asked me for a date. And Mrs. Taylor sure seems to use a lot of ice whenever he's away. And Mr. Baker, can you tell us why your secretary had to leave this town? And shouldn't Widow Jones be told to keep her window shades off or completely down? Well, Mr. Harper couldn't be here 'cause he stayed too long at Kelly's bar again. And if you'll smell Shirley Thompson's breath, you'll find she's had a little nip of gin. And then you have the nerve to tell me you think that as a mother I'm not fit. Well, this is just a little Peyton place, and you're all Harper Valley hypocrites. No, I wouldn't put you on because it really did. It happened just this way. The day my mama socked it to the Harper Valley PTA. The day my mama socked it to the Harper Valley PTA.
So, we're going to start with something to cheer you up, everyone. We're going to go through a poem that was inspired by Audre Lorde and the line from her poem, From On a Night of the Full Moon, out of my flesh that hungers and my mouth that knows. There is anticipation of months of digital impulses, transmitting desire. The flesh is hungry. In my dreams I am gorging on flesh, and I wake unsated, fretful. My mind can depict such accuracies of flesh, such completeness of desire. In my subconscious, my mouth that knows there is more time to traverse until my lips are taken and are rough with lust. The mouth that knows in the place of flesh it drinks, and the tongue runs on and on when not tasting skin. Out of the flesh there is want, there is the staring eye, the ravenous appetite for books. Literary fucking is the best you never had. All is sublime fucking in black and white type. Ceres, perfect it all. Block out the fumbling of bodies. Thank you, come on, applause for me. Now, come on. Oh, See, they're all too drunk. That's what they are. You can't hear Paddington. He's got such tiny paws. He's trying his best. Oh, he's such a supportive audience member. You're all awful, you know that. I'm not inviting you next month. Right, here we go. So, from filth to Kate Bush. So, you will know where this poem's inspiration came from as soon as I start reading it. No guesses, no prizes, just a sense of smugness and self-satisfaction. I have never thrown my shoes in a lake. I have had them thrown and attempted to retrieve them in a late summer muddied. Just let me start again. This is typical of me. So yeah, I've had a double vodka before I started, of course. So I'm just going to start this poem again. You're getting the full live experience here. I'm not going to cut this. I'm not going to restart this video. I'm just going to go with it. So here we go. We'll start again. I have never thrown my shoes in a lake. I have had them thrown and attempted to retrieve them in a late summer muddied lake edge. The mud was thick, smelled good and clean. I have waded into lakes barefoot and found the algae and fronds underwater clung to me, toes alive and fondling the white feet that lurked underwater, a white too white for lakes or sun. I have swum in lakes, felt the stillness of water undisturbed by tides on my flesh, and it was calm, and the fishes were pulsing silvery things. The water was glassy, and my intrusion into it muddied the clarity. There were no fears in those depths then. I didn't think of Weil's disease, of losing things. I found something in the water. I found my breath, a coolness that on a day where the air was still and felt like it would not move easily in my lungs, that the breath I held underwater, closed-eyed, could be held until I chose to break the surface. Oh, come on! I know, Paddington, you're trying your best, but look at that bottle of rosé. Molly's finished that hours ago. They just roll in here and they just start getting drunk, because that's what poetry audiences are like, aren't they? Oh, dearie me. But I hope none of you are getting up for a loo break in the middle of this set. You better behave. Right, we will finish this set on a return to filth. And feelings many of us can relate to, I believe, who are writers here. So this is one of my journal poems, so it has a date instead of a title, and it's 3rd of December 2017. I have replaced fucking with whiskey. Last weekend I sat on the lap of a man I have lusted after for years, who asked to go to my bed. I fled alone. I am watching Top of the Pops 1980 and counting the dead. The front man of Hot Chocolate lithe in silver lame trousers, Lemmy roaring, I don't want to live forever. I am not sure I am lovable, or want to be loved. My libido wants, I am loath to give in. I dream of lovers I have not seen in more than half a decade. I will fuck off now, put lipstick on, and go be better at an event for more successful poets. So that is my set for you tonight on World Poetry Day.
This track is called Divergent. It's off our album, The Seventh Daughter. Spring has sprung in, impeccable timing, in perfect step with the clock, tick, tick, ticking. Tribal dance starts, tension is risen. Black smoke blankets the sky like a murder of crows. It's how we separate the seasons. It's how we separate the seasons. So say the news, say all the documentaries, the seasons. It's the aquarium we're breathing in. Innocent. Air is thick, it's acrid with madness. Clings to the gathering like a polyester nightdress. Horizons alight. Streetlights look like bonfires, right on time. Everybody's aware of the calendar, the people don't see. No lashes back at first, as up go the disco lights. Up go the Land Rovers, up bumps the tempo, down go the chips. Everyone's been gambled with, nobody notices yet. It's getting hotter than an empty cattle shed in Fermanagh around here. Right on time, the TV crews appear. All the men in white suits do a line of Shakespeare. It's how we separate the seasons here. Didn't you hear? Well, meanwhile in our thousands, there is so much more to show our thousands. There is so much more to know about us. We're divergent and determined in our thousands. We are breaking new ground, what about us? We do selfies, eat lunch. We try to take over the whole world and such. We are fireworks, both glitter and explosion. We're as humdrum as they come, still they come seeking only one gun. One bomb. One gun, carried by the shadow apparition of some young one, to call the congregation to attention. Declare there will be blood, they don't care which ones. All their backs are turned, bang bang. Summer has begun, chaos has returned. Cameras up and run, run, run. All across the world, politicians twiddling their thumbs and talking twisted tongues. Well, meanwhile in our thousands, there is so much more to know. Our thousands, there is so much more to know about us. We're divergent and determined in our thousands. We are breaking new ground, what about us? We do selfies, eat lunch. We try to take over the whole world and such. We are fireworks, both glitter and explosion. We're as humdrum as they come, still they come seeking only one gun. We're as humdrum as they come, still they come seeking only one gun.
I was listening to that.
That thing hasn't worked in years.
Doesn't mean I can't hear it.
You don't like Mario Lanza.
No, I don't. I like John Prine. Sit in the chair.
Why?
You need a trim.
No, I don't.
Then why'd you book me?
Did I? When?
Just now.
Don't need a haircut, Molly.
Yes, you do. Today's your big day.
Today's the big day?
Yeah. Hop on.
Well, okay then, but nothing too drastic, right? Just a little tidy up at the back.
Yes.
Don't be going mad.
Yes, sir. There we are. Now, I miss this, you know. Cutting your hair. Quiet cup of tea just before the shop opens.
If you miss it so much, why'd you leave me?
I had no choice, had I?
Well, that milk could have waited.
It's not my fault Anishon's full of mad drivers.
That milk could have waited till the morning.
After all this time, you still hold it against me.
Just saying it could have waited.
Do you all blame me?
No, of course not. They miss you. I miss you. Sheila got married in February. And Joseph, he got a job in the tech just before the lockdown. He's teaching hairdressing.
I know.
How?
You told me.
You were listening?
Yes. Always.
Then when you talk back?
It's complicated.
You feel stupid when you don't talk back.
Well, I'm talking now.
Do you hear that? It's been like that all night. They won't let them in, you know. Sheila and Joseph. They won't let them into the room.
You made a lot of changes to the place.
Oh, yeah, I did, yeah. Got all that wood paneling in here that you wanted.
I wanted.
Yeah, you always said you wanted wood paneling in here.
Did I?
Didn't you?
Any other changes?
Not really. And we do Turkish shaves now.
Very exotic.
Oh, yes, very good. And we refer to the customers as clients.
Very classy.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay, well, I think that's you done now.
Yeah?
Here you go. Tell me what you think.
Oh, very good. Very nice, yes. Good job.
Okay.
You haven't lost your touch.
You're good to go now.
You know, it's a ridiculous thing, you know. A couple of weeks ago it was right as rain. Then there was a little cough, a little fever. Now it's all this. Tubes and transfusions and ventilators.
Well.
What?
What?
I said, well.
Well.
What?
Well, now you mention it, maybe the smoking break.
Oh, that has nothing to do with it.
You can't rule it out.
Nothing.
You should have quit.
Well, you shouldn't have went out at midnight to get milk.
I wouldn't rely on.
Yeah, and I like to have the smoke from time to time. Smoke!
It stopped.
What are they saying? I can't hear what they're saying.
They're making a note of the time.
That's it then.
That's it.
I thought they'd be in to see me. I thought I'd see them one last time. I thought someone would be here.
Someone was.
Will you walk me over the road?
Of course. I'm hosting your party.
There's a party.
Yeah.
A party?
Yeah.
A real party?
Yeah.
Oh, well, in that case...
No marijuana.
No.
No.
Something better. We'll do our party piece.
The closing aria from Lady Macbeth in Minsk in E flat major.
After 3, darling.
3.
She don't like her eggs all runny. She thinks crossed her legs is funny.
He ain't got laid in a month of Sundays. Caught him once, he was sniffing my undies.
She's my baby.
I'm his honey.
Never gonna let her go. In spite of ourselves, we'll end up sitting on a rainbow.
You hear them talking first, and then a flash of colour and a whir of gears, and they are gone. The pros, the peloton, the men with shaven legs and farmer's tan. And you remember when long years ago you rode like that through sleet and hail, revolving in a chain up on the outside, over, back to shelter, up to lead to work your bit, and paying heed but to the rhythm of your legs and heart, the shouts of whole, car up and clear. And though you knew your time was past, you had your dream that one day with the training and the gear you'd ride the Tour de France. Though always in the end there was a doubt. The rumours of the doping and the drugs in Marco, almost fast enough without. Yes, you were younger then and you were keen, you had no fear. On each descent you took the lead and never hit the brakes, nose down, arse up, knee out and lean. That was your glory then. Each had its own. The one who sprinted for the county line, the one who caught his wheel, the one who rode long hours alone, who knew each road, each track, and where the food was best, and where the crack, and when to take a rest, and where to pee. But that was then, and now they're gone, the many friends you rode among, grown old and fat with cars and jobs and lack of time, and some have died. The men who sprinted for the county line, he's in a wheelchair now, but he who rode long hours alone is riding still somewhere. And you feel it in your bones with each descent. You can no longer trust yourself since the first day you touched your brakes and hit black ice. The bike is somewhere in the shed. When summer comes, perhaps you'll ride. Descending slow, you'll stop. And in the stillness you may hear the voices and the whir of gears, the men with shaven legs and farmer's tan in your remembered peloton.
Sometimes feel so happy. Sometimes I feel so sad. Sometimes I feel so happy, but mostly you just make me mad. Baby, you just make me mad. Linger on. But it's truly true, so linger on your pale blue eyes. Linger on your pale blue eyes.
Home Rules, Frank Rafferty. I lived in England for years, and lots of people'd ask me, where'd I come fae? Some thought I was a paddy, some thought I was a joke, Some even thought I'm fae Edinburgh. Now, I'll make you laugh this. Aye, it will. But see, when I was away, my ma sent us all to elocution lessons. Sometimes I hear myself speak, and I can't tell where I come fae either. Just as well she couldn't send my da.
Years and my life is still trying to get up that great big hill of hope for a destination. I realized quickly when I knew I should that the world was made up of this brotherhood of man, for whatever that means. And so I cry sometimes when I'm lying in bed, just to get it all out what's in my head. And I'm feeling a little peculiar. And so I wake in the morning and I step outside and I take a deep breath and I get real high and I scream from the top of my lungs, what's going on? And I say, outside and I take a deep breath and I get real high and I scream from the top of my lungs, what's going on? And I say, hey, yeah, yeah, hey, yeah, yeah. I say, hey, what's going on? And I say, hey, yeah, yeah. And my life is still trying to get up that great big hill of hope for a destination.